Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually start a clothing brand in 2024. And to be honest with you, it's not that difficult as a lot of people think it is. I'm going to walk you through step by step with the clients that I work with, who I'm currently essentially running Facebook advertising and Instagram ads for them. Specifically, I'm going to go over two clients and I'm going to go over essentially what they have done to take their store from essentially zero to making their first sale, making their next sale, sale number five, sale number 10, and obviously so on and so forth. So I'm going to go behind the scenes in terms of their Shopify store. Well, one client's Shopify store, I can't show you the other one, and I'll reveal why later on. But yes, I'm going to go through all the details step by step so you can essentially not necessarily copy, but take notes. And with the notes, you can go out there and start seeing some success with your clothing brand. So let's get straight into the video. All right, so let's get straight into it. This is one of my clients' brands, and I'm going to be showing you two brands. One is going to be a apparel for dogs specifically, but if you wanted to do apparel for cats, this will work also. And the other one is apparel for men and also women. So this brand I worked with a couple of months ago, and they was doing really well. But I'm going to start off with this brand because this is the brand that I'm currently running advertising for right now. Now, when you are building your clothing brand, the very first thing you need to think about is the actual product itself. Where are you going to source the product? And also, you've got to understand that when people are buying a product, they're buying a design. So, essentially, are you going to be making the designs? For example, are you going to be going on Photoshop? Because obviously, I'm a Photoshopper. So, you're going to be on Photoshop. Are you going to be doing the designs yourself? Or are you going to go to somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork and pay somebody? Well, if you're using Fiverr, pay somebody $5, $10, $15 to make a design for you. So that's the first thing you need to think about is the design. And when you're creating the design, have a specific niche in mind. And when I say niche, a niche is just a group of people who share a common problem that you solve. That's all a niche is. If you don't know what a niche is, if this is the first time you entering the world of business, but if not, then don't worry, I'm going to get a bit more advanced a bit later on. So whatever you design you make sure it's for a specific niche. Now the reason why this store this store is currently making $20,000 per month. And before I continue, let me actually show you and prove to you that they're making $20,000 per month. So let me refresh my screen because I want to make sure that number one, I am transparent, and number two, that you know that every single thing that I'm going to be teaching you in this video is actually the truth. So last month they made 20k, and last month was in the month of March. Let's look at February. I think they would have made 42k in sales in February. Let's look at January. They made 75k in sales in January, and I think December would have been a great month if I'm correct, of just a little bit less than 68k in sales. So I hope that I've got your attention, and I hope that you know that I do know what I'm talking about. So let me get right back into the actual content. So make sure you think of a design and make sure you have a niche in mind. Like, who is this design for? Because remember, you cannot make yourself rich. Essentially, it's other people that are going to make you rich. It's other people that are going to transfer money from their bank account into your bank account. So if you need to do some market research as in going online, searching for, again, when I say niche, pick a specific age group. So whether you want to go for more older people, whether you want to go for more younger people like me, or you want to go from middle-aged people, and are you going for male? Are you going for female? Are you going for people who like sports or people who like cooking? Or again, that's what I mean. Niche down. Be specific. Who are you targeting? What is their age? What do they have in common? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And when you're picking a niche. Sorry, one moment. I just need to turn off my heater, it's a bit too warm in here. So when you are picking a niche, what I would recommend is pick something that people are passionate about. Something on, politics, something like dogs, so animals, something like sports, so football or soccer if you're from the US, golf, something that people something that people basically because obviously I've got a tattoo over here. You probably can't see it, but something that people would tattoo on their body, essentially. That kind of market are usually the best market because they're willing to pay over the edge. Sorry, they're willing to pay more than a normal person would pay. So these are just things to think about. I would recommend you focus on a specific group of people. Try to find something they have in common. More specifically, try to find some sort of passion that they have, something that they just love talking about, and do your research. And again, if you need any help or if you want any ideas, just leave a comment down below and I'm more than happy to help you. And if you have built your Shopify store or WooCommerce or whatever platform you're using, then book a free call down below and I can take a look, give you recommendations. It's for free. So that's the first thing in terms of who you're serving and also the design. So the next part would be where to actually source the product, essentially, because I would recommend that you don't, for example, find a supplier, buy boxes and boxes and boxes of t-shirts, hoodies, joggers, and then essentially run advertisements, whether Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, to ship it to your customer. I would recommend that you do the drop shipping model and essentially you find a supplier. So I'm not affiliated with this company, but this is just an example. Do your research. Printify is one company you can use, but if you don't want to use Printify, that's perfectly fine. It's just the principle of find a supplier that will essentially make your designs. They will manufacture the hoodies, the t-shirts, and they will ship the product to your customer in the US or in the UK or wherever you want to market. And if you want an idea where to market, I usually go for the US because it's big, like e-commerce is massive over there. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So number one, make sure you pick your target audience, and again, focus on a passion. That is the key to making a clothing brand work. I wouldn't do things like this that you see right here, a logo of a tiger or a lion. Yes, that can work, but if you really want to succeed, and again, I can't guarantee anything, but but to give you the best possible chance of success, pick something that people are passionate about, and be very careful with what you pick. Like if you pick like a TV show like Simpsons, be careful of copyrights. So that's something that you have to be wary about. Something that people are passionate about, but something that you won't get, because I don't want you guys getting copyrighted over here and then coming to this video and blaming me. But hopefully you get the idea. Then find a supplier that will essentially make the product, put your design, and hold the inventory and actually ship it. Well, it's called print on demand. That's the key term, essentially. So when a customer orders from your store, then of course you go to the website, you order it, you put the details in, and the product gets shipped. But there are apps that you can download on your Shopify store that will basically do it automatically for you, so you don't have to do it. Or if you do have to do it, you can hire a virtual assistant from Upwork for like $3 an hour, and they'll do it for you. So you take the sales that you make to pay for your virtual assistant, and then you're good to go. So I hope that makes sense so far. So the next thing you've got to think about is the actual store. So we're going to focus on the store. So to begin with, what I would recommend is you pick whether you want to start off with hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this client that's currently making, between 20 to the highest is 75k per month. So let me just go behind the scenes. So the reason why this store is so incredibly successful is because it's designer clothes for people's dogs, and That's what I mean. Pick something that people are, I wouldn't say people are passionate about this, but again, it goes with human psychology. You know, people like luxurious things, and essentially, imagine you have a Gucci T-shirt, for example, and then you can get your dog with the same matching Gucci T-shirt, well, a Gucci jacket, sorry, which would be just kind of cute. You'd be the center of attention, etc. But what I wanted to do is I want to show you what makes a good actual Shopify store or WooCommerce or whatever you decide to do for your brand. So number one, I recommend you order the products yourself. So just like this client, for instance, all of this is their own content. Oh, and again, I always like to provide proof before I go ahead with anything. So this is the client Methos over here. And then this client's from the Netherlands, and you can see here we're talking to the clients. You know, this is the actual Photoshop image of the client doing the designs, so that you know that I've definitely 100% signed the client over here. So back to the video again. So for this client, and also I'm going to show you which advertisements has done the best for these two clients, since I do genuinely want you guys to succeed, because your success is my success. So now let's take a hoodie, for example. So let's see what these two brands have in common. This brand that's making 20 to 75k per month, and this brand that's currently making, I think, roughly around about 2k to 5k per month in euros. So number one, notice how both of them have their own images. Please don't be lazy and just use, basically, without me going into detail, order the product yourself and take your own photos. And I'm going to leave it there. When you get the product, make sure you take photos of the product. You know, if it's a hoodie, you know, take a plain white background. You know, get somebody to wear it. You know, if you need to hire a professional photographer and it's going to cost you, you know, $50, $100, $150, just do it. It's going to be worth it. But yeah, make sure you take professional photos. And if you want, if you're on a budget, you can use your phone. You know, the camera these days on an iPhone is just ridiculously good. So yeah, so take your own photos. And when you're taking photos, make sure that they're clear. Make sure that you focus on the product. Try not to have, you know, people in the background. Just, yeah. And one thing is, if you're stuck, just go to competitors' websites and try to imitate. Don't copy, imitate what they do. So that's the images done. And obviously, how many images? Well, that depends on you, really. But obviously this client mainly has 3 images, so I think a minimum of 3 images, but if you want more, that's also fantastic. So make sure you have the name of the product at the top, name of the product, price, color, size, etc. So all of this should be very basic stuff. Make sure you have details on the material, make sure you let people know shipping times, dimensions, and etc. So yeah. And the same with this client, you know, the size, the price, and essentially if the product is in stock. Right, now let me get into the more detailed stuff. So in terms of payments, of course you can have PayPal, you can connect your Stripe account, but again, I'm not going to go through payments in this video. In terms of the actual deals, offers, so most of the clients that I work with, they usually do some sort of a percentage off. So for example, when I was working with this client, they was doing, I think 10 or 15% off. This client is doing 53% off and free shipping. So these are things that you can think about. Free shipping does really well. You know, 10, 15, 20% off does really well. Buy one, get one frees, they do really well. But I think what's working really well with this client is discounts when people when people spend a certain amount of money. So when somebody spends $100, they get 10% off, $200, 15% off, and it's done automatically, so you don't have to put in a promo code. So try to think of doing something similar to this with your own clothing brand. So of course, these are just badges. Again, have details on shipping. Make sure you have secure payment just to make people feel safe and secure, and then make sure that it's a quality product. Let people know that, and then you're good to go. So this is something that you can do. This client was doing it, and this client is doing it. But you can download apps that will allow you to bundle other products, and when you do something like this, it will increase your average order value. Now, average order value just means the amount of money your average customer spends. So if an average customer spends if you're selling a product for $26, your average order value is $26. However, if you can get somebody not just to spend $26, but to bundle these three items together, then your average order value will be $72.90. And once, for example, you get your first sale, your fifth sale, your 10th sale, then obviously your average order value will change depending on the amount of sales divided by the number of customers. I'll go through average order value in another video, not in this one. And then you have your product details, and then you have a customer reviews section, and then obviously this is specifically for this brand in terms of the different breeds of dogs, sizes, and a featured section. If you have something like this, that's fantastic. And then some more badges, and then yeah, you get the idea. So that is a page that generates 20k to 75k per month. And same with this client that I used to run advertising for, even more simpler. They've got the price, they've got add to cart, buy now, they've got the option to bundle other products in, and also they've got the reviews from Trustpilot, and they've got a little video to show how the product is made, and then that's basically it. So you see how simple that is? That is literally all you need to have a successful, profitable product page that will make you money. Now, how many products should you have on your store? I would say you should have a few products just to give people the option to buy other items and to give you the option to have a bundle. But if you only have one product, then that's okay, go ahead. But I would say have a minimum of at least maybe 5 or 6 hoodies, t-shirts, etc. in your store. And again, it's up to you how you want to take your brand. If you only want to focus on, in the beginning, doing only hoodies, or only doing t-shirts, or only doing joggers, that's up to you. Or if you want to do hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, socks, again, it's up to you. If you need any help, just leave a comment down below. So now we've gone through essentially the targeting, no, not the targeting, but we've gone through the audience, the niche. We've gone through the suppliers. We've gone through the actual Shopify store very briefly. And again, if you want how to actually create a Shopify store, just go and find many videos on YouTube. They will show you how to create a Shopify store. I want to show you how do you make your first sale, how you make your second sale, and how do you take those sales to 10, 15, 20, 28,000, well, $25,000 per month, like you're seeing with this client's account. So now that you've got those ingredients, the next thing that I would recommend is you focus on the actual ads themselves. So in previous videos, I've gone over this client's advertising account. So this is the advertising for this particular brand. And again, not many YouTubers are willing to show this transparency, but I am, because it's not my own personal brand. Obviously, I'm doing and running this for my clients. But what you're going to learn here are strategies that I use for all my clients. So let's get right into it. So my area of expertise is Facebook ads. That's what I've been using for the past, 6 years now. Been running Facebook advertising. I've made over, I think in total, over $2 million in Facebook advertising revenue for all the clients that I've served in the past 6 years. So I know a thing or two And again, it's not to brag, it's just to let you know I know a few things or two about running Facebook ads. So, in terms of running Facebook ads, my recommendation is you start off with creating one campaign, you go with a conversion campaign, make sure that the Facebook pixel is set up, make sure that the Facebook pixel is working. So one tool that I would recommend you download is called the Meta Pixel Helper. So this will make sure that your Facebook pixel ID is working. So make sure that your Facebook pixel events is firing. So that's your page view, which is this. And make sure that you make sure you test this works. Obviously page view is working. So when you add to cart, make sure that the add to cart, well, I think this one doesn't have an add to cart. So view content. So if I went to proceed checkout, does it work? I hope it does. Okay then, so page view, initiate checkout, and after somebody buys, they obviously go with the purchase. So make sure that the pixel events are working for your pixel. So the 5 main events would be page view, add to carts, initiate checkout, and obviously purchase. Wonderful. So once you've got those events in place, then of course create your campaign, make sure that there is for conversions. In terms of targeting, again, this comes down to your audience, this comes down to your niche. So make sure that if, for example, it's a product like this, then of course I'm going to be transparent with you guys. This is the targeting. So it's 25 to 65. Where basically this one is a ad of a email list and a lookalike audience, so it's doing very well. In terms of where we are actually targeting, so Facebook feed, Instagram stories, Facebook reels, because in the previous advertisements, these are the main placements that have worked the best for this client. So again, and I hope you appreciate that I'm literally showing you how a 20k to 75k per month clothing brand is running their advertisements. So for this client, they usually run advertisements in the US, but I recommended let's expand it to worldwide because the client can ship worldwide. And I believe that should be everything. If you want to pause the video, you can pause the video whenever you want. So this is just giving you more information in terms of the pixel events. Now, I've gone through this in other videos, so you can watch other videos, but my advertising strategy is simple. What I like to do is I like to create multiple different audiences because you don't know which audience is going to bring you sales. So in this case, I created 14 different ad sets. So with these 14 different ad sets, what I've done is I've tested interest audiences, I've tested lookalike audiences, and I've tested retargeting audiences. What I'm going to do is one of these days I'm going to create a full Facebook advertising campaign setup video, so you can see how I set up a campaign like this from start to finish, so you can basically copy and paste. But just for the sake of simplicity, I basically like to test as many audiences as I can, and then once I found the winning audience, then that's when I like to essentially turn off the losers and keep the winners and increase the advertising budget. Now for each and every single ad, I run a minimum of 5 ads. So one thing I've noticed about this client's catalog ads is what's working the best. That's why you only see catalog ads over here. Now in terms of how the ad actually looks like, this is basically the ad. Very simple. It's just showing you the products in their store with the name of the product. This is the copy. There's somebody say epic puppy fashion, 70% off and free shipping, only good until the end of the month, shop now. So you can see that the advertising copy is so incredibly simple. You don't need to think outside the box, or you don't need to hire a copywriter. You can literally do this yourself. You know, all your favorite brands, you know, dramatically reduced. Don't miss out, 70% off. Let me go to over here, and I think this is one that I created myself. So love designer clothes, get the matching pair of outfits for your dog or a gift for a loved one. Click shop now, which is the call to action to order your favorite brands with free shipping today. Very simple ad copy. You can do something similar for your own brand. And again, the reason why we create 5 different ads is so that again we can test to see which is the best performing ad. Whichever is the best performing ad, we let that advert continue. The advertisements that don't bring any sales, we turn them off, if that makes sense. And that's basically the strategy. Once we found an audience and an advert that's making money, we keep that audience running. We increase the advertising budget according to the amount of revenue and profit from revenue that you make. And then that's essentially the secret. Now, in terms of this client, I've created this document that I go through because obviously I own an agency, a Facebook advertising agency, and I have a team of media buyers who we run advertising for. So whenever I hire a new employee, I go through this document on what makes a good advertisement and a bad advertisement. So in this case, I'm going over the copy, what makes good copy and bad copy. If you're interested in having access to this document, just leave a comment down below and I can give you access. But anyway, in terms of this particular client, this was the winning advert. So similar to this, because I don't have access to the ad account anymore, me and the client went our separate ways. However, I did something completely identical to what I'm doing here. I tested many different audiences. The winning audience was this, a broad audience. And all a broad audience is an audience that essentially has no targeting. So yeah, you have no interest, you have no lookalikes, you have no retargeting. It's just blank. That was the winning audience, and I believe I had roughly around about 16 to 21 different adverts. And out of the 16 to 21 different adverts, so I was doing a lot, and I mean a lot of testing. This was the winning ad. And I also tested videos, and even though the videos were decent, this still came on top. So yes, if you're saying what works better, video or image, test. So if I'm probably gonna maybe zoom in so you can have a closer look of the ad copy. You know, again, love this t-shirt. I always like to ask a question and then obviously some sort of a benefit. You can wear these anywhere with your favorite outfit, and it's good to add emojis, makes the advert stand out a bit more. And then click shop now, call to action to order your new t-shirt today. Comfy t-shirt you can wear with your favorite outfit, shop now. And then just a simple picture, simple image of the product, and that's basically it. So yeah, that is how I that's how I run advertisements for my clients. That's how this store is currently making 68k, currently making in the month of January 75k, and overall the client, this store has made 22 cents. I probably said that completely wrong, but $231 and 22 cents. There we go. So yeah, that's basically all the steps that you need to run a successful clothing brand. It's not that difficult. Just make sure that you pick a good niche. Just make sure that you have a good supplier. Make sure that your store is, follow what I've, gone through, because this is not that difficult to do, to be honest with you. And then in terms of the advertising, I've shown you the strategies. I will create a separate video in the future where I go over how I create a Facebook advertising campaign. And this is the strategy that I use for all of my e-commerce clients, not just clothing brands, but physical products, digital products. It works, and it works really, really, really well. After all, I've generated over $2 million using this strategy that I'm teaching you. Well, I've shown you and taught you in this video. So that's basically it. I also have a free consultation if you're interested in me having a look at your advertisements or whatever advertising problems that you're going through. Again, I don't do any free trials. The reason why I don't do any free trials is because if you have a look over here, these are all the clients that I'm managing. I have another window. These are also all the clients that I'm managing. So I won't be managing all these clients if I'm not, you know, half decent at running advertising. So if you do want to make an investment and if you do want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, then I'm just letting you know I don't do free trials. So yeah, but you can hop on a call. We can screen share. I can have a look at your advertisements and give you, you know, 1-2 things, nothing more than that. That will just, you know, make a massive difference in your sales, and then we can take it from there. So thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.